welcome back to another episode of the Beyond the Playbook podcast, and another episode in our Winter Olympic Sport Explainer series. Imagine this: one jump can give you a head start, and one mistake can cost you minutes. And the finish line doesn't care how far you flew, but rather how fast you skied. This is a sport where elegance meets endurance, and it involves two disciplines, but there's only one winner. This is Nordic Combined, and before the Winter Olympics begin, here's everything you need to know about the sport so that you understand what you're actually watching. So what is Nordic Combined? Nordic Combined is a two-part winter sport that combines ski jumping with cross-country skiing. So the same athlete competes in both, often on the same day at the same venue. So first, they launch themselves off a ski jump flying through the air. Then hours later, they race on skis across demanding trails, chasing the clock and each other. So the goal is pretty simple: jump well, ski fast, and finish first. But here's the twist: your ski jump performance decides when you start the ski race. So Nordic Combined isn't just about your speed, it's about balance, strategy, and surviving two completely different physical demands. So if your ski jumping is about precision and fearlessness, cross-country skiing is about endurance and suffering. So a brief history about the sport. Nordic Combined is one of the oldest Olympic winter sports. It has been part of the Winter Olympics since 1924 at the very first Winter Games. And the sport grew out of, funnily enough, Nordic skiing culture, especially in Norway, Germany, Austria, and Finland. And for decades, it was considered the ultimate test of the all-round skier, a discipline that rewarded athletes who could do everything well and not just one thing exceptionally. And at the Milano-Cortina Games in 2026, the Nordic Combined will take place at Val di Fiemme, and a valley often described as the spiritual home of Nordic skiing. And this venue has hosted multiple world championships, and its steep ski jump hills and brutal cross-country climbs make it the perfect, as well as unforgiving Olympic stage. So basic rules about this sport. It's of course divided into two parts, as mentioned, the ski jumping part as well as the cross-country skiing part. Now, in the ski jumping part, the athletes jump from a ski hill, usually a normal hill at the Olympics. They are scored on distance, how far they flew, and style, body position, landing, and stability, and each jump earns points. Now, there's a concept here known as the Gunderson method. So those jump points are then converted into time gaps for the ski race. So if you have more points, you get an earlier start, whereas fewer points leads to a delayed start. So instead of a mass start, the cross-country race becomes a chase through the valley trails, like a very staggered start, if you get what I mean. Now the second part of the sport, which is the cross-country skiing part of it. So it's typically for 10 kilometers in the individual events, and athletes start based on their jump results. So the first skier to cross the finish line wins. There are no calculations, no judges, and no debate. The finish line decides everything. So this makes Nordic Combined incredibly easy to follow once the race begins. Just watch who catches whom on the climbs and descents. Now a few fun facts about this sport. Nordic Combined athletes wear two completely different suits on the same day, and they must switch from explosive power to aerobic endurance within hours. Ski jumpers can fly at over 90 kilometers per hour and then ski for nearly half an hour. Now in this, there's an adage that some athletes are known as great jumpers but average skiers, and vice versa. And there's a very unique quirk in this sport. You can dominate a ski jump and still lose everything on the final climb through Val di Fiemme's trails. So no other Winter Olympic sport punishes imbalance like this one. There's also a key and interesting point which needs to be noted over here. The IOC explicitly rejected the women's Nordic Combined event for inclusion in the 2026 Games in December 2024. So this makes Nordic Combined the only Winter Olympic sport without a women's event, a distinction which has been widely criticized as discriminatory. Now, IOC has given justification for this, citing low broadcast ratings and a lack of podium diversity for the reasons of this exclusion. But as we all say, you cannot have such justification for making sports truly inclusive. Now, who are the top countries and the athletes to watch out for over here? Of course, Norway are the historically dominant country in this. They are culturally built for this sport. Germany are very technically elite and tactically brilliant. Austria has a lot of excellent jumpers and they're very strong all-rounders. And Japan have been rising through the ranks, especially being competitive, especially in the jumping phase. Now, the athletes to watch are Johannes Lamparter, who is a Austrian and who's one of the best all-rounders there is. Vinzenz Geiger, a German who's an exceptional race tactician. And of course, the Norwegian post Jarl Magnus Rieber Nordic combined athletes. They're transitioning basically from that generation. They're trying to define the new generation for what it is. Let's put it that way. Let's end by saying that Nordic Combined doesn't reward specialists, it rewards survivors, those who can fly and then endure. Now, when the leaders charge through Val di Fiemme, you won't be just watching, and I hope you'll be understanding and enjoying it as well. So, thank you for watching this video. Please drop a like, subscribe, and do drop a comment as well. And thank you for watching this. Bye.